Hello Libra, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with your reading for the second half of April from the 16th through the 30th. General as always, guys, it's not going to resonate with every single person, so please do take from it what makes sense for you and release the rest. If you're interested in your own reading, that info is down below in the description box. I'll include a link to the decks and creators that you do see here today. Libra and of course cross watchers are welcome. So I'm going to be timestamping this particular reading down below because I'm breaking it up into sections. We're going to start off with the Divine Masculine, and then we'll take a look at where things are going from the Divine Feminine perspective. So we're going to start off with the Masculine here. And typically for the first half of the month, the second half of the month, I take a look at the love and life energies. This time I'm switching it up a little bit. So this reading is called Songs in the Key of Love, which is inspired by both of my Heart Songs decks. So musical messages for this love connection. And again, we're starting with the masculine. All right, so let's go ahead and grab a couple songs from this deck, and then we'll grab some messages from the Real Talk with Him, Words of Wisdom deck. All right, Libra, let's begin. Focusing on the Divine Masculine here. So we'll grab a couple of songs, musical messages from the masculine. We have Alone by Heart. You don't know how long I've wanted to touch your lips and hold you tight. Oh, you don't know how long I have waited and I was going to tell you tonight. But the secret is still my own and my love for you is still unknown. So we might have a masculine here who might be certainly feeling alone, but they might be unattached. They might be single at this point in time, especially if you guys are not together. And if you're feminine watching for this masculine, maybe there was a particular night that this person is talking about when they were really going to open up their heart and tell you how they were feeling, but maybe things didn't play out that way and they didn't get the opportunity to do so. So what is in their heart remains unknown to the feminine. Interesting. Let's grab another song. I'll Be by Edwin McCain. Tell me that we belong together. Dress it up with the trappings of love. I'll be captivated, I'll hang from your lips instead of the gallows of heartache that hang from above. I'll be your crying shoulder, I'll be love suicide. I'll be better when I'm older, I'll be the greatest fan of your life. Wow. So this in and of itself, right from the very first line, tell me that we belong together. So this is an indication here. We have a masculine who's feeling quite alone without the feminine. Okay, so let's go ahead and add to this. I'm going to pull a couple messages from the Real Talk with Him deck. So my feminine's watching for the masculine. What is it that they need to say right now? What are they thinking and feeling? So starting with this message. I've made a lot of mistakes with you, but you've taught me how to be a better person for my future relationships. I hope you can forgive me. I'm grateful for the lesson. Thank you. So, right from the very beginning, we already have a masculine who's alone and not with this particular feminine, acknowledging the mistakes that they have made and really wanting forgiveness from the feminine. Whether you guys ever find your way back to each other or not, they're still grateful for the lesson that this whole experience taught them. Let's grab one more card here. I'm guided to this one. Sometimes a man's bank account has absolutely nothing to do with how rich he can actually make you feel. So, we might have a masculine here who might not have a whole lot of money. Maybe they're still working on their career, their goals, their dreams, whatever that might be, their life purpose, their livelihood. But this masculine certainly has the capability of offering the feminine so much love and all of the things in life that really do matter. The things that money cannot buy. All right, so let's go ahead and add to this. I'm going to set these songs aside and let's go ahead and dig a little bit deeper when it comes to this connection here. So the masculine acknowledging that mistakes definitely were made here. All right, so I'm going to pull from my Silhouettes deck here. Let's take a look and see what else. So angels and spirit guides for Libra, focusing on the divine masculine for the second half of April. What else do we need to know? What were these mistakes? Maybe it'll let us know. We've got nightfall. There's nothing to be afraid of as long as you're with me. So something about nighttime perhaps also. Maybe again, there's a particular night, going back to the Alone song right here. You don't know how long I've waited, and I was going to tell you tonight, that particular night, that could have been a missed opportunity for this divine masculine, because they didn't end up getting the chance to say what it was that they needed to say. We have mine. So this masculine still wants this feminine, still wanting and desiring the feminine. In their heart of hearts, you know, tell me that we belong together, that you're still mine. We have untainted. Our love is pure, simple, and perfect. I'm grateful that we did not allow outside influences or interferences to contaminate our bond. You are the only one I need in my world, my life, my heart. And yet, I do feel that there were certain factors that interfered with this connection, because you guys are not together, and there have been mistakes that this masculine wants forgiveness for. Loneliness. Feeling very lonely without the divine feminine. I've seen these clouds before, but I don't ever recall them looking so sad. It must feel this emptiness in my heart and the storm falling down from my eyes. So this masculine definitely shed tears as a result of the distance and separation, and finally getting to the point where they know and understand the mistakes that they've made. Because they're saying here through this message, you've taught me how to be a better person for my future relationships. So they're also perhaps accepting that maybe there's a chance that you guys won't ever get back together, that it's a thing of the past, and that they've lost out on this connection. Dance like no one is watching. This could be the feminine's energy right now. Just doing your own thing, living your best life. Not really putting too much emphasis on what other people and their opinions might be saying, you know. Somebody could also really love to dance here, or maybe the both of you love dancing together. Or music is something that you guys had in common. This could have been a part of the problem right here. Temptations. Not everything you see is meant for you to have. You know, so in a way, these two cards right here, the masculine could have been tempted by other people, third-party situations. There could have been infidelities here for some of you. That's what the mistakes were. So take that if it makes sense. You know, it's like, ooh, that one's mine. Ooh, I want that person to be mine. But if you guys were already together and the masculine stepped out on the relationship, that's the drama. That is the mistake, perhaps, that they made. That there was a boundary that was crossed. There were lines that were crossed here. So let's go ahead and add to this. I'm going to pull from my Heart and Soul Love Oracle. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Libra, focusing on the divine masculine here. One. What I get from this right off the bat is there's a particular divine feminine that represents the one for this masculine. And I'm just feeling missed opportunities here due to mistakes that were made. So this card says, we only have one life. Fill it with your hopes, wishes, dreams, and goals, whatever they may be. We only have one heart. Fill it with love, joy, happiness, fulfillment, contentment, and gratitude. We only have one love, the only one that truly has. That one beating heart of yours. Cherish it. And I feel part of the problem here with the Divine Masculine is that perhaps we have a feminine here who was taken for granted. Someone that wasn't acknowledged. Somebody that wasn't a priority in this masculine's life at the time. It was a connection that was special, but it was not cherished. We have commitment. Who would have thought one day, one smile, one person, there's that reference to one again. One person could change another's path. A shared vision, a shared destiny, a shared love that will last beyond this lifetime. Without these temptations, without the mistakes, all of this was possible. But part of the reality of what's presenting itself here is that there were mistakes that were made by the Divine Masculine and wanting forgiveness. Grateful for the lesson, grateful for the connection. And then we've got this card, the past. It's time to say goodbye to the past. And for those who are in separation, you also said goodbye to one another. So yeah, there were indiscretions here. Perhaps a masculine who was deceptive, cheated on the feminine due to these temptations, lies, secrets. And this card says, this was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. To leave the past behind, to move on. The past is where you and I were, where the good memories live, where my dreams of us fell apart. Our time together is over, and I need to find the strength to just say it. Goodbye. Okay? So, again, for those who have already done this, you guys are in separation, and we have a masculine here who is very lonely, who's finally acknowledging the error of their ways. They're feeling alone. They're feeling heartache. Still wanting and desiring the feminine. We've got Kismet right here, okay? This is a card of destiny. You guys were destined to meet in this lifetime. Not necessarily to stay together forever, but you were definitely destined to meet in this lifetime. And this card does say you and I were two lost souls destined to meet in this lifetime. It doesn't matter how many wrong turns or choices we've made before we came into each other's lives. All that matters is that in the end, we got it right. We found each other. But can you find your way back to each other? We've got vows here. Promises are made all the time. There's so much power behind the words we speak when we make promises, and it sometimes makes a person wonder why they often get broken. Let's not break ours. This could have even been a conversation that you guys had at one point in time, making all of these promises to one another. But there were broken promises here. Some of you guys could have already been married. We do have rings right here, wedding rings, engagement rings. So there was definitely commitment here, a promise for a committed future together. But there, I feel, have been infidelities in this partnership. And a lot of perhaps regrets that this masculine has as a result of those mistakes. We've got cleanse. Mistakes in love, you see? That's no accident. It's a part of growing, living, loving. We don't always make the best decisions. We cross boundaries and go after those that are not meant for us or are good for us. We get our hands dirty. Through gained wisdom, time, and owning up to these mistakes, we create change. So perhaps this masculine is working on making amends for those mistakes. Working on themselves. This as well is no accident. Look at this next message, and it says alone. So remember, we've got that very first song that came through. Okay. So where is it? Here it is. Alone. Alone. So this is a very specific message that's coming through for this reading, and perhaps you're both alone at this time because you're not together. But this card does say we spend so much time trying to find that ideal partner, our soulmate, we forget to throw that energy into ourselves, to find love within yourself first, before you can find that love elsewhere. It will find you once you can spend time alone and get to a place where you enjoy spending time with you. So maybe this is something that you guys both need in the meantime, to just be able to enjoy your own company, as well as to heal from what happened here. Because I do feel for some of you, it could have been a very painful breakup, very traumatic, having dealt with a partner who was unfaithful. Okay, so let's add to this with some tarot messages. I'm going to pull from the Sacred Secrets of the Heart Tarot by Jennifer Aquarius Tarot. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Libra, focusing on the divine masculine for this reading. What else do we need to know? Is this a situation that can be healed from and fixed? That's a really good card right there. 10 of Pentacles. First of all, as you can see, it says financial success. Remember this card right here? Sometimes a man's bank account has absolutely nothing to do with how rich he can actually make you feel. So here's the thing, and take this only if it makes sense, especially if you're feminine watching for a masculine. You might have been dealing with a masculine who was just either not very good with their money, or they just didn't have much. They didn't have a whole lot of money. They couldn't afford the finer things in life. But what this is telling us here, because this is a card of progress when it comes to your masculine's financial status. So this to me is indicative of somebody who's doing a lot better financially. Could be a financial windfall. They could have really come into a lot of money, or maybe through their career choices, personal goals and dreams that they've been able to manifest, they're now able to provide, to be able to be someone that can truly afford the finer things in life. But without the feminine, they're still alone. So their bank account might have blown up, and that's all wonderful and fantastic. But without the feminine, I still feel when it comes to this masculine that there's still this empty void. But the thing with the 10 of Pentacles, and what makes it so amazing in this particular reading, because of this message, and these messages playing off of each other, is that we have two people here who could represent a perfect match here and still feel a strong bond with one another. This is letting us know that success and stability in a partnership can still be achieved. Happiness and love. We've got Pentacles right there, which is Earth, so Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. And I love how we've got the Page of Pentacles right next to it. Plans for structure, as it says. So Earth energy is what's representing itself here right now, Libra. The Page of Pentacles is about manifestation. Manifestation of better finances. Manifestation of perhaps another opportunity to correct these mistakes. That is, if you're open to it, my feminines. We do have the Queen of Cups coming through next. Fragile, loving. That is the energy of the Queen of Cups. Calm, intuitive, compassionate. Cups is water. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So perhaps right now, my feminines, you're feeling really fragile because of what happened between you and your masculine. You could also be isolating yourself with that 5 of Pentacles. So as you can see, we've got a lot of Earth coming through. And maybe this masculine left you out in the cold. That is a part of the interpretation of the Five of Pentacles. Tapped into your insecurities. However, the Five of Pentacles is also a card of poverty. So that keeps popping up when it comes to money matters and the lack of it. But I feel through this financial success, they've turned that around. So you guys might be alone at this time because you're not together, feeling very lonely without each other. Certainly the masculine is feeling that way. But this is certainly possible. Union with the Two of Cups. Coming back together. Unity. The connection that you have between the two of you. The partnership. It can still come back around. It can still come back around. We've got the Eight of Cups. So in order for that energy of elevating things between the two of you to manifest, you got to move on from the past. You got to move on from what brought you guys into separation to begin with. And perhaps that begins with a heart-to-heart conversation, with forgiveness, with an apology. Because this is where you guys are meant to be. The sun brings pure happiness, as you can see. This is a connection, Libra, when it comes to the divine masculine, that the masculine is still wanting to offer this energy of the sun to the feminine, to be able to make the feminine happy. Very positive energies from the sun that can still result in a union, marriage for some, a solid commitment, a successful relationship. All of these things are still possible. But you guys have to let things go and move on from what separated you guys. And I really feel the divine masculine is in a much better place in their life, not just financially, but perhaps they've matured, they've grown, they realize what they've done, the mistakes that they have made, growing from that, learning from that. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some additional messages. I'm going to pull from the Twin Flame Angel Numbers deck by Mystic Moon. So let's take a look. So Twin Flame messages. If you don't identify with the Twin Flame concept, you could certainly interpret it from the standpoint of a soulmate connection, or however way you see your soul connection with your person. So let's take a look at the advice. We've got 1313. Earth angels are surrounding you as you face a challenging time in your connection. I feel obviously you guys are not together, you're alone. You've already faced these challenges, and the earth angels that are represented here could be friends, could be family that have helped guide the two of you through. We have 111, 111. Fresh new concepts and ideas are being made available to you for the journey ahead. So the masculine has to realize this. Maybe coming up with a new approach on how to reach out to the feminine, especially if past attempts failed. We might have had a masculine here who tried to reach out to the feminine, and maybe just, the feminine wasn't having it. But look at this. We've got 4141. Congratulations, you've taken the proper steps on your healing journey, which assures success. So this is all about your divine masculine here. They've done the work. That's fantastic, because without having done this work, it would have definitely hindered progress in this connection to move forward and to certainly let go of the past and what happened. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some final messages here. I'm guided to pull from my Heavenly Hearts Oracle here, just to dig a little bit deeper as to where the masculine is at in their heart space, what they need to express to the feminine at this point in time. Angels and spirit guides for Libra on behalf of the divine masculine. Your love lifts me so high I could fly. That is how you make them feel, my feminines. You're my ultimate fantasy. Still fantasizing, still desiring the feminine. Look at this next message. Marry me, okay? We've got vows, we've got wedding rings right here. So you guys might have even discussed marriage. But this is a possibility of what's to come. You've got the Sun on your side here. You've got the Ten of Pentacles. Again, a really positive outcome when it comes to love and romance. Two of Cups. The Sun, pure happiness. Possible marriage in the future. Our union has been heaven sent. Wow. And lastly, let's grow old together. Yeah, this is a masculine who wants to be able to spend the rest of their life with the feminine. They know they've made mistakes. And if you're open to forgiveness, divine feminine, then maybe this is worth exploring where this could go in the future. Perhaps a new beginning. But that's what's coming through. Okay, so if you resonated with this portion of the reading, I do hope that it helps you out. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what will come through when it comes to the divine feminine, which could either pick up off of this reading here, or it could come forward with a completely separate storyline. But let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, for those who are watching for the divine feminine here, whoever represents the feminine energy in this relationship, let's go ahead and take a look at that. So I'm going to start with the Heart Songs of the 90s deck, and then we'll go ahead and grab a couple of messages from the Real Talk with Her Words of Wisdom deck. All right, Libra, so let's begin. Let's take a look and see if it melds together with the divine masculine reading, or again, could possibly bring forward something completely separate from that storyline here. So we're taking a look at where the divine feminine is at. Musical messages for this love connection. Let's grab a card. Nobody Knows by Tony Rich. I pretend that I'm glad you went away, but these four walls close in more every day, and I'm dying inside, and nobody knows it but me. Like a clown, I put on a show. The pain is real even if nobody knows, and I'm crying inside, and nobody knows it but me. Why didn't I say the things I needed to say? How could I let my angel get away? This could be the divine masculine talking to the divine feminine. How could I let you slip away? Let's take a look at one more. It Ain't Over Till It's Over by Lenny Kravitz. How many times did we give up? But we always work things out. And all my doubts and fears have kept me wondering if I'd always be in love. So many tears I've cried, so much pain inside. But baby, it ain't over till it's over. Wow, this might actually be corresponding with what came through for the divine masculine reading, or at least portions of it. Because we have a masculine here who doesn't want it to be over, I feel, with the divine feminine. So, divine feminine, where are you at in your thoughts? We have a masculine from the first part of this reading that was acknowledging that they made a lot of mistakes. Are you able to forgive? Let's grab a card. Divine timing. Have patience. It's closer than you think. Divine timing is at play here for the divine feminine. Needing to have patience, perhaps, when it comes to the connection with the masculine. One more card. He loves you. Okay? So maybe, divine feminine, that's something that you really needed clarification on. That the masculine still loves you. They're clearly not in a good place because they are pretending to be perhaps happy. They're pretending that they're doing all right. Even if they are alone, even if they are single or hanging out with a bunch of friends, or maybe they've moved on to another connection, they're pretending to be happy. But as this says, nobody knows really what's going on except for them. And there's a part of this masculine that's telling the divine feminine here, it ain't over till it's truly over. So what I'm getting here for the divine feminine is that you've got a masculine here who's not going to give up without a fight because they still love you. All right, so I'm going to set that aside and let's go ahead and grab some additional messages here. Okay, so I'm going to pull from the Sacred Healing Journey by Angelic Revelation 144. Angels and spirit guides, please. Focusing on Libra. Divine feminine. Where are you at on this journey with your masculine? They're pretending to be a particular way in front of friends, family, other people. Strategy, look at this. They're planning their next move. Wow. What else, please? Focusing on Libra, divine feminine. So I'm really feeling here your masculine wants you to know and understand, feminines, that they're not done. They're not done when it comes to this connection. Receiving. Heart chakra opening to receive unconditional love. So my divine feminine, perhaps you are in this energy of finally receiving the love that this masculine wants to be able to give you. No doubt you guys have been at war with each other before. You've gotten angry at your masculine, especially if there were infidelities in the partnership and they created a lot of drama, made mistakes. This card does say defensive, self-sabotage, anger. But look at these cards. We've got celebrations, parties, engagements, weddings, pregnancies, and births. We have a divine masculine who wants to make all of these things happen with the feminine. So maybe in the meantime, the divine feminine needs to balance out these chakra energies, chakra healing, right? Balance chakras with meditation, crystals, healing music, and exercise. So if that's what you're doing in the meantime, divine feminine, that might actually help bring you back into balance in your own life, in your heart, when it comes to this connection with your masculine. Look at this. We've got wellness, well-being, health, diet, nutrition, and exercise. So we've got a couple of cards here talking about health and well-being and exercise and being active. That could be where the feminine is at right now, which is really good. We have lucid dreaming, astral travel. So what is coming through is that more than likely you guys are not together. We have a masculine who's planning this next move to reach out to the feminine, and my feminine is finally at a point where this heart chakra is opening up. That's why we've got the chakra healing that's needed. Lucid dreaming. That could be how, in the meantime, either the feminine is interacting with the masculine in the 5D world, or that's the masculine interacting with the feminine. Could go either way. And bottom of the deck, look at this. Divine soul connection. And it does say past life and healing. Some of you could have connected in a past life. And maybe when you met each other, there was that sense of familiarity. Almost as if you guys had known each other before. And that could certainly be the case for some of you. But there's lots of references to healing here. All right, so let's add to this. I'm going to use my Heart and Soul Love Oracle deck again. So let's go ahead and see what else needs to come forward. Focusing on Libra, Divine Feminine now. Angels and Spirit Guides, please. What do we need to know here? So yeah, you guys have been at odds with each other. There could have been lots of arguments here. There's healing that is needed for sure. Communication. We've got expansion. It was always you and I. There was never anyone else that mattered in our world, just you and I. And one day it all changed. I'm going to stop right there for a minute, because that change for some of you was that there were infidelities and indiscretions in the partnership. That is a part of the equation and why you guys broke up. But what this card actually says is, one day it all changed. Our love created a life that demonstrated so beautifully how two people can extend that love beyond themselves to leave this world with a legacy all our own. Part of this expansion is that some of you guys already had a family. You already had children together, or at least planned for all of these things. Whoops, I've got a card flying. Hold on. Here we are again. Look at that. That came through for the Divine Masculine, and it's coming through again. Alone, alone. So maybe this is truly how you're both feeling right now. Feeling alone, but actually needing to spend time on your own to continue the healing, Divine Feminine. You have to be able to enjoy your own company in the meantime. We have rhythm. This is my DJ card in this particular deck. Music. We are focusing on musical messages here. We could have a masculine who really loves music here. We have so much chaos going on throughout the world. I have to tune it out when it gets to be too much. Before I know it, I'm in my own little world where it's just me, my thoughts, my music, and songs that uplift me. Songs that calm me because it's about us. You are the rhythm in my heart. So Divine Feminine, this is what your masculine wants you to know and understand. That is what you represent to them. But some of my feminines, you're still healing. Here we go again. It makes sense why these cards are coming through in this way. Heart chakra reference, chakra healing, wellness. And now we've got another card talking about healing. You hurt me. You shattered my hopes and dreams. You kept me in the shadows, ashamed of our love. You didn't appreciate my love, my time, my generosity, my heart, my presence. I had to work to find myself again, to bring myself towards the light, to heal me. You can't hurt me anymore. So I really feel this for my divine feminines here. Taking the time to heal and to focus on self-love and self-care. But we do have a masculine here who's really wanting to make amends. And maybe that's why we have this song coming through, you know? It ain't over till it's over. And maybe you guys have broken up before. And hopefully you guys can find your way back to each other and make it work. Make it stick this time, you know? We've got love notes. And as you can see, it just repetitively says, I love you. Love notes from the masculine to the divine feminine. And I'm also getting, for some of my feminines, that this is you working on loving yourself. That's a part of your healing. We have cleanse. I believe that came through for the divine masculine as well. Cleanse, mistakes in love. It's a part of growing, living, loving. We don't always make the best decisions. We cross boundaries and go after those that are not meant for us or are good for us. We get our hands dirty. Through gained wisdom, time, and owning up to those mistakes, we create change. So this card came through already from the first part of this reading with the divine masculine. So I feel these two readings really do play off of each other, at least parts of it. So let's go ahead and grab some additional insight from tarot. Okay? Let's take a look and see what else needs to come through here. But healing for sure needs to happen. And I feel, my feminines, you are working on that. All right. So let's go ahead and see where this is going to go. I'm going to pull from the same deck, Sacred Secrets of the Heart Tarot by Jennifer Aquarius Tarot. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Libra, divine feminine. Let's go ahead and see. All right, so we've got the Nine of Pentacles, but it is coming up in the reverse. In the upright, it's someone who's solo and independent. But maybe for some of my feminines, this is something that you're struggling with. To just be alone, to enjoy your own company, as that has already come through. And maybe you're struggling to be solo and independent without your masculine. That could be the case for some. But that could apply to the masculine as well, that they don't want their independence. They want to be in a relationship with the feminine. What I'm also getting for some of you is that because the relationship is at a distance, there is a separation here. Someone's just throwing all of their time and energy into work. That could be the masculine, but it could be both of you. And going back to the divine masculine reading, you know, where we might have a masculine who was struggling financially and finally improving their financial status, but that requires a lot of time and energy when it comes to their career, their livelihood. But there's definitely cycles that need to complete here. There are doors from the past that need to be closed. Being able to start over. Being able to stand on a much more solid foundation in the partnership. So whatever cycles need to complete, let them complete. Let's see what else. Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So for some of you, the divine feminine represents earth energy. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Or you just resonate with the energy of the Queen of Pentacles, who is someone very nurturing and resourceful. The Queen of Pentacles is representing a mother figure. So some of you guys could have already had children or children from previous relationships. It could also represent that motherly, nurturing energy, someone who's very down to earth. Or for the divine feminine, this represents an actual mother figure in your life and the role that that person plays in your life to help you heal, to nurture you. Transition, tranquility with that Six of Swords. Swords is your own air energy, Libra. So things are going to smooth out, but there's definitely this need to leave the past behind and to move on from that because it's not serving a purpose at this point. And then we've got the Ace of Pentacles, more earth, new stability. So finances, once again, looks really good. This is a new beginning. A solid offer is what the Ace of Pentacles is all about. It's manifestation, it's prosperity, new ventures, opportunities. Could even be an offer of marriage for some of you, for the divine feminine. That could certainly be the case. It makes sense how we've got the Five of Wands here, you know, arguments, anger, because we have the War card, remember? Self-sabotage, defensive, anger. So that's coming through here again. So you guys have definitely had your fair share of arguments, no doubt. With the Hangman, it's the need to see things from a different perspective, to have a better understanding from where you are coming from and where your person is coming from. You need to be able to see things from their perspective, from a different standpoint. The Hangman is also the need to let go, to make room for better. To release. And here we are with the Sun. So the masculine, the feminine, you guys can have this happiness here. You can find your way back to each other, but there is definitely this energy of the need to heal and to find balance. But there's a possibility for reunions, marriage, happiness, celebrations, fulfillment in this relationship. So, despite where you guys have been, it still looks pretty positive as far as reconnecting. It ain't over till it's over, right? All right, guys, so let's go ahead and add to this with some messages from the Twin Flame Angel numbers, like I did for the masculine. This is by Mystic Moon. So let's go ahead and see what else needs to come through here. Six, 5, 1. Your twin flame has been visiting you in your dreams. Write your feelings down upon awakening. Maybe you already know that. And it's interesting, remember, because we have lucid dreaming, astral travel right there. So maybe that's why that's coming through for the divine feminine, because we have a masculine here who's visiting the feminine through astral travel, through lucid dreaming. We have 1111. Okay, that also is a twin flame number. And in tarot, it represents the Four of Wands. You could have wishes here that can manifest. And it does say awakenings and activations are at hand. Be on the lookout for signs guiding the way. Pay attention to those signs. 2424, be patient as your angels are working to reveal your life's purpose and mission to you. So remember from the very beginning for the Divine Feminine, divine timing. Have patience. It's closer than you think. So this can apply to the feminine's love life, of course, but it can apply to so many other things. (1221) Learn to provide your own happiness rather than relying on your twin flame to fulfill you. Absolutely. Going back to the alone card. Okay, remember, you have to be able to spend quality time with yourself and to learn to be able to find happiness within you in order to find the happiness that you're looking for outside of yourself. And this applies to both the masculine and the feminine. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap it up here. I'm guided to pull once again from my Heavenly Hearts Oracle. So let's go ahead and take a look and see where the feminine is at in their heart space and how they're feeling about the masculine. You may not be my first love, but you will be my last love, my best love. Wow. Look at this. I dreamed you into reality, you see? Lucid dreaming and turning this connection into a reality once again. I still remember our first kiss. For that one moment in time, the world stood still. Something very special about that first kiss. My love for you runs deeper than the ocean and higher than the clouds. I mean, this is an intense love right here. And right from the very beginning, remember, he loves you. Okay, so we have a masculine here who has such intense love for the feminine. And lastly, the heat is rising between you and I. So, I mean, the desire certainly is still here when it comes to the divine feminine. All right, so that's where I'm going to leave this one. Whatever part of these readings made sense for you this time around, I do hope that it helps you out. And, you know, either the two portions made sense for you as a whole, or there were bits and parts from the divine masculine and divine feminine readings that made sense for your situation. All right, guys, so that's it for now. I do hope that this offered you guidance that is helpful. And if you're interested in your own reading, that info is down below. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.